You're listening to The Dating Den with dating and relationship badass and best-selling author Marni Batista. Every week, you'll get the raw truth from top experts and real people on the important dating, sex, and relationship issues you want to know about. So if you're ready for true talk that's authentic and unfiltered, and you're not afraid to be called out on your stuff, then you're ready for what's next.
The Dating Den, episode 36 with Jeannie Esimos. Profile mistakes smart women think they're too smart to make. Except, well, you probably did. Hey, ladies. Welcome into my dating den for today, darlings. I don't know why I just did a British accent. Maybe it's when you live with a British person. Anyway, welcome to the Dating Den. You know it's gonna be a good episode when 2 seconds before my guest comes into the den, I say to her, people just fuck this up. So I think you're going to be very happy because we're going to talk to Jeannie Esimos from eHarmony about your damn profile. So, I do this high-end mastermind group and, we work on profiles and these profiles are like magical, right? And when I first start working with someone and I see their before, it's literally like V8 face palm, like my Jewish mother would have said, oy vey. So I thought I would bring Jeannie here, who, is the queen of profiles at eHarmony. To help us. So I'm going to give them your full bio, but welcome to the den, darling.
Oh my gosh, so happy to be with you. I want to speak in an accent too, but I'm not as good as you.
Mine's actually,
hello, darling.
Yes, actually, like according to the reels, my accent's really bad, but it's okay. This is my Downton Abbey. Okay, so let me tell everyone who you are. So, Jeannie has been with eHarmony since 2008. God, was there even an internet in 2008?
There was, but it's far different than it is now.
back in the olden days.
I know.
And so what Jeannie does is she manages the PR, social media, and oversees eHarmony's popular advice site, which brings in over 2 million unique visitors a month. And when she's not editing, blogging, or publishing, she works on eHarmony's commercial spots. And she is eHarmony's spokesperson, which is why she's here. And before she came to eHarmony, she was managing director for Entertainment Tonight and The Insider. Damn, girl. I'm just laughing because I had this whole vision of like, and maybe one day you'll be able to sue someone for sexual harassment. I don't know. It all seems to come out from Entertainment Tonight.
Oh my God, I guess that's a whole nother episode.
I know that is. Okay. And she also is a smart gal. She has a BA in Cinema Studies from San Francisco State. And you're just, you just do this all day long. It's really cool. I don't even know if the last time I came to your office, I didn't see the wall. Do you guys still have that wall in your office with this bazillions of success stories?
We don't have that. I mean, when we moved to this office, they were trying to be all like hip and cool, and they're like, "That's not." But I love that. I always love walking by and seeing because it just reminds you of like why we're here.
Why we're here. It was like literally, ladies, imagine this, like floor to ceiling. I'm not even exaggerating. It was like the longest airport terminal you can imagine. Like it was huge, and it was just like floor to ceiling photos of couples. And so you know what you're doing. So let's jump right in. Are you ready?
Yep. I'm so ready.
Okay,
yes.
So let's talk about missteps. What is like, I'm going to say the number one, but it's the number one that most people, like if I talk to them on the street, they would never know that that's actually a misstep.
Oh my God. Where do you even like start? I mean, I'm kind of torn because I think like just having one picture is a big misstep, right? Like one photo only is like, I don't think anyone's going to want to reach out to you just after seeing one picture. You need more information. So I feel like that's a bad one. And then, close to that are, well, no photos, obviously that's a done deal, but, pictures of you with sunglasses or a group shot where you don't know who the hell the person is you're trying to date, or photos of you at the opposite side. I've seen some profile where like a guy posted him with a girl in like every picture. It's like, well, am I going to date both of you? So Really, I mean, obviously photos. Photos are like, you've got to have good pictures. So why do people throw up any crap? It's crazy to me. I don't get it. And then the other thing I would say is negativity. Like, I never want to get married, just putting that out there, or, in the About Me section, or, what the hell? Why don't people respond to me? Like, it's just insane. So
Right. Well, I say that like you're leaking, like offline you're leaking, like every bad experience you had dating is just like transmitted through the ethers and people can tell. And so what happens is you go online and you write your profile. And I will say that most people today, and I would love to hear your perspective on this, they're not waking up going, oh my God, today I get to go an online date. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
I know.
It's going to be amazing. Oh my God, I'm going to right? They're like, fuck. I guess it's come down to this, and so they put that energy splatter it all over their profile. So what can someone do to get excited? Like come to that experience where, and eHarmony has a lot of questions. And I think even if you do something like OkCupid, there's like a lot of opportunities to show who you are at the core. And so what can someone do to like make the most of that moment?
Well, be in a good mindset, right? Like if you have a negative attitude about it, like, this is just going to be great, this isn't going to work, then don't even bother, honestly, right? So like first go, you know what? This is a great tool to meet people at this day and time, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to be optimistic and I can meet someone amazing. So I'm going to also recognize that this is a marketplace, right? Grant Langston always says that. And so I need to present myself well, right? So you got to like put your best foot forward, like, talk about your best attributes. And if you're not good at that stuff, then have somebody help you, like Marni, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's interesting. People always tell me that dating and business like have a lot of parallels. So last night I have like my favorite little new business show. It's based on this guy, the prophet, Marcus Lemonis. Anyway, he has this new show. It's called The Partner, and he's interviewing partners. Right? Like we are, right? We're single, we're interviewing partners. So he does this exercise and he's like, all right, here's the product. You're going to go in the mall and you're going to build a kiosk and you're going to sell it. And whoever sells the most wins, right? And so these people focus on, like putting the stuff out there, and their signs and whatever. Anyway, and they have very little sales. What Marcus says to them is, and I think this is why it's relevant to writing your profile, is he said, what's the story? Like when people buy something, right? When people are interested, when they click, yes, they look at the pictures, of course, but that's like an obvious one. But they want to know like who you are, like what's your brand? And for a lot of you that are listening, you could like ace business, right? You ace sales, you ace marketing. So like, what's the story? You're not just like another single woman in Detroit, right?
Yeah.
There's like the story of who you are. Now, not the story of like, your failed past relationships, but the story of like your soul and what makes you tick.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like I believe in living each day to the fullest, or like what's your mantra, right? Just like put it out there. Like, and that person that's going to jive with you is going to have a similar feeling. Like, oh my God, I believe the same thing. Or I feel the same way that, it's so important to live in the now and not look back. And you know what I mean? Just whatever, like, what are you about? Like, what's your tagline, right?
Yes. And I think the other thing is that you want to, and this is just like the show. What makes your brand unique? Because do you see a lot of people, Jeannie, writing like, I love walks on the beaches, but I can also dress up,
Yes.
Okay. So what do you see like the most generic, it could be anybody, throwaway lines that people write in their profiles?
Well, like I love what's important to me, family, friends, things like that. So that's a lot. I mean, it's really generic. And, or I like music, I like good food. Well, okay, take it a step further, right? Like, tell me about the first concert you went to. Like, just, I don't know, like, what do you like to cook? Like, I love to bake, macadamia nut cookies, or anything that makes you stand out and unique. And then the person also has, who wants to talk to you has something like, oh my God, I love making that too. Or, oh my God, I love that band too, or whatever. Like, it's just great conversation fodder. So I would say like get specific, right?
Yes, I love that. So be specific. And the other thing is, I think you said something so smart. You're like, I love friends and family. Like literally we could take that profile and every, nice woman out there likes her friends and her family. I mean, really, right?
Yep.
So what are words that are really unique to you? Like like when it comes to like badminton, they call me like a badass,
Exactly. See, that's so cute, Yeah, exactly.
Right? So think about language and words that really reflects your personality. If you would never say badass, of course, don't. Yeah. Right?
I would say badass for sure.
I would too. I had one of my clients, she's probably listening. I love you. She wrote the best profile and I'll give you a little glimpse into it. She's a very religious person. Like her Christian faith is literally like so important to her. Okay. Now I want you to, all of you imagine maybe this little prim and proper. No, she is like a badass. And so she said, I believe in Jesus and I believe in the words like fuck, damn it, and I don't give a shit. Do you know what I mean? Right?
Yeah, because that's awesome.
Yes, because she wanted to have someone who's going to go to church every Sunday and have the same values, but she goes out and she like has a couple glasses of wine and she curses and she's got she's her brand of a Christian woman.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's perfect.
Yes. So,
because otherwise, if she just said, "Oh my God, a Christian, I love Jesus," a lot of people are going to skip her because they'll think, "Oh, she's conservative, she's stuffy," right? Unfortunately, people assume a lot, so you got to spell it out.
That is another great point. So, missteps. Don't assume that everybody gets it, right?
They don't.
They get
don't.
you.
Yeah.
They don't, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So, what do you think is another common misstep that you see all the time?
My goodness. Let's see. Well, I mean, we could talk about photos all day long. I think everybody kind of gets that, right? I would hope.
Well, the one thing I would ask you is I personally believe that it's worth it to get lifestyle shots like good professional photos. What do you guys say?
I don't want to see 5 selfies of you in your car, right? And the same expression. It's like, what is the point? It's about like variety, right? So, so you got to just, if you don't have the pictures, go take them. You need to put, I would say the next misstep is just not putting effort or energy into your profile. Just slapping crap up there and then writing the bare minimum. What results do you expect to get from that? Right? What are you going to get? Nothing. Seriously.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I had a client recently who's super smart and fun and amazing. And she was like, here's my profile. And no lie, I showed them to my daughter who's like 15. And I said, so what word comes to mind when you look at these photos? And my 15-year-old daughter says uptight. Okay, what were they? They were it looked like she worked in a bank, which she doesn't. And they were like these headshots, right?
Yes.
Probably from like 2011.
Oh my God.
Not out of date, right? But out of date. And they were like, they were professional work headshots. And so this woman is she's so not uptight. Right? But if someone is going to be perusing, just like, this is like a conservative Christian woman, this is like a very uptight, rigid banker.
Yeah. No, I know. So it's make sure your profile reflects who you really are. And maybe know who you really are first. Like, who are you? Like, what do you want to convey? What's really important to you? Think about that as you put it all out there, because you are going to attract, depending on how you present yourself, certain types of people. So, I think it's important to really think about like, who am I? Am I fun? Am I this? Am I that? Okay. And how do I convey that here?
Absolutely. And the other thing that you said, which I think is a misstep, you probably don't even realize that you said it, so brilliant, was the negative, right?
Yes.
Right. So if you're a player, need not apply.
Yeah. Or I've seen a lot of guys saying no fish lips, or no drama, please. Or aren't there any normal girls on here? I've seen comments like that. And it's like, move on. You cannot, I don't know. I just feel like good luck to you, because negativity is so repellent to me.
Yeah, it's definitely not sexy. Yeah.
But you see it a lot, though. You see it a lot. Oh my God, I can't deal with any drama, or just like sly little comments like that. I saw one guy write something like, why message each other with no intention of meeting? I don't get it. Like that was his first line in his what he was passionate about or something. And I was like, what's wrong with oh my God, I want to reach out to all these people and just help.
I know. Well, what's interesting is that to me, so here's why I think this is really important. And it's and y'all know me, right? It's the question underneath the question, right? Which is, so why are you starting it out with no drama? Well, if you are a smart shopper, which you guys all are, when you read that, it's like, don't think of elephant. Okay. No drama. That means that basically you have had a life of a lot of drama and you're over it. So I don't want to be like I'm not going to take the chance. Right? Because maybe, honey, it's you that creates the drama, right?
Exactly.
So when you're writing that profile, really important to really put attention on what you want, not what you don't want.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. So I think that's great. And don't be afraid to say what you want, right? I mean, I'm not saying I want to get married by 2022, but I mean, looking for, just a great partner, I don't think there's anything wrong with putting out there what you want. I actually respect that when people do that.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you this question. I have a lot of clients, and I'm just laughing because pretty much anyone who's my client says this, which is that, here's how old I am, but I look 10 years younger.
Of course.
Right? Okay. And a lot of them, and I'm going to be real, a lot of them damn do look 10 years younger. Okay. But I get a lot of this question like, I want to, it's an algorithm with all these dating sites. I don't want to miss out on men who are this age because if I put that I'm 50, I'm going to get a bunch of 65 and 70-year-olds.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about checking the box that is not your actual age and then actually telling the truth in your profile? Or what do you recommend at eHarmony?
I recommend you say your real age, honestly, and then you can pick a range of ages you're interested in. I don't like lying. I don't feel like that I understand what they're talking about, but I think on most sites you can choose what age range you're interested in. So I don't know, the person's going to find out how old you are eventually. So I just think that you need to be straightforward about that up front. What do you think?
Well, I do. I remember when I was dating, and I was like, men searching, if they don't put a wider range, they're going to miss out on me.
But they maybe don't want that age for whatever reason. It's you just got to be cool with that, I'm 45, I'm online dating, and
you look 10 years younger. Baby, you look 10 years younger. Just saying.
Right.
You do, right? But
But you know what I mean? It's I gotta be confident in who I am. This is who I am. This is how old I am, and that's it. And the person that is going to be the right one for me is not going to care, not going to give a shit, right?
Totally. And here's the other thing, and I know because I saw that wall of fame over there at eHarmony. I have a lot of clients that will say, who are in their 50s, 60s, or whatever, and they'll say, I just don't want some old fart. I just don't want all the men my age, just blah, 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 blah. And
generalities.
Totally. Yeah. And then I'll meet men, right, who are in their late 50s, 60s, or 70s, whatever, and they're literally, I don't want grandma. I need someone who's going to hike and travel the world with me. And so the reason that I'm saying that is because I think that when we are getting older and we're thinking about dating, when we think of a certain age, we literally, we see ourselves as young, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the picture in our mind literally is of our grandpa.
Yeah, I know.
Right? And so we forget that there are all these men out there that really do look 10 years younger than they are, and they're fit. And I think it's really important to remember that, just like you are awesome and you are fit and you are active for whatever age you are, there are men who are the same. So stop telling the story, there aren't any, because it's just energetically not supporting you.
No, I so agree. And I've seen tons of 50-year-old guys that look awesome. So it runs the gamut. There's 30-year-olds that look like hell, right? It just, I feel the age thing, people are way too hung up on it. And these days, just with all, like, God, with blessings from the dermatology office, I mean, we all can look amazing, right? So I feel like people are too hung up on that. They need to get over it. And also, yeah, I think that, what you put out there, you get back. So if you're saying, oh, there's no good men in their 50s, there's no good this, there's no good guys, whatever, you hear that a lot, right? Are there any good guys out there? It's like, yes, there are. So you got to change that, throw that way of thinking out the window, honestly.
Totally. And so Jeannie said, like, own who you are and be confident in it. So put the age that you are and know that there's men who are in their 50s, 60s, whatever, that are looking for you. And by the way, there's another like common limiting belief that gets in women's way is there are so many older men who want older women. It's just bullshit that like older men want to date 25-year-olds. I mean, if you look at all the people in eHarmony, the success stories are like, do you see like a majority, a lot that are like, age appropriate, quote unquote?
Yes, I really see most couples around the same age. I rarely have seen a drastic age difference at all. Really.
Wow.
And yeah. So, yeah, I think, there are the exceptions to the rule, and it's just stereotypical, right? Like, oh, a 50-year-old dude wants a 25-year-old hot chick. Well, maybe there are some douches like that out there, but most people not from what I've seen.
I love that. Okay. It's true. And I think this is a really important conversation because, and I really want to say this with all the love in my heart. Like, we're joking about it and we're like, oh my God, facepalm. But what's crazy is that, notice if you have to really take stock and say, oh my God, you know what? I totally think that. You know what? I totally do that. And I think that when you're a really smart woman, we just sort of go on like autopilot. Like that doesn't apply to me. I would never do that. Right. Like obviously. But it's not true.
Well, we're all guilty of that. And like, I think it's just about the awareness of our thoughts because we have like, it's almost like self-defense mechanisms or ego protection or whatever it is. And, it's just being aware of those thoughts that come in and just don't give them any value. Like we're going to have a thought like that, like, oh, there's no good guys. And then just go, you know what? That's not true. Throw it out the window. Like I just, and you can't beat yourself up over it either. And we all do it. I mean, I made assumptions yesterday about a guy I was going to go out with. And I thought, oh, he's going to be like this and that, whatever. And he was actually nothing like I expected he would be. And he was actually really lovely. So, it's so interesting. We just have to like check ourselves and be in the present moment and be aware of that negative self-talk or limiting, talk that we give ourselves.
Awesome. So it's like you have to put intention and effort into your profile. You have to put intention and effort on your thoughts, the quality of your thoughts. Yeah. And if you were going to make it up on the fly, what if there were three? Because I'm all about like 3 keys too. What would be the third thing that you think you need to put intention and thought into as it pertains to online dating?
Oh my gosh. Let's see. So what are our first 2? Remind me.
It's in thought and intention to your profile, thought and intention into your thoughts.
Mm-hmm. And then I think the thought and intention and the actual dates and the messaging and that part of it. So communicating and just being positive about it and being open. And then when you do have a date, being positive and visualizing how you want it to go. So carrying it through to the next step, which is just, having the courage to put yourself out there and just look at it as an adventure and fun and a chance to meet someone new instead of like, oh my God, I'm afraid, or this is, just, I think a lot of us, we shut ourselves down before we even get to the date.
Totally. And what's interesting too, and is, I was coaching someone yesterday, it was like kind of at the beginning of her journey with me. And she went on a date and she was like, I know that you want me to go out with him again. So I said, yes. Like, I know, like over in the UK, she's like rolling her eyes at me. And, she's like, but I have some flags or I have some concerns. And so I think that a lot of us are in the habit of ruling out, which really speaks to what Jeannie was saying about like self-protection. Mm-hmm. So here's what's mind blowing. So then I was like, all right, so what did you like about him? Like, how did he make you feel? And she spent like maybe 10 or 12 minutes. He was super funny. He made me feel like I was attractive. Like I could just tell that he was like engaged and interested in me. He was really well dressed. He was so handsome. I could tell he put a lot of time into like where
Oh my God.
right?
Oh, great.
Yeah, like amazing. What's interesting is she told me like, thank God I hired you because like after my date, you know, that night I went out for drinks with my girlfriends and I told them and I started telling them about the date. The first thing she shared was her concerns and all of her girlfriends were like, oh my God, ditch him.
Yeah, it's terrible. I know. It's like we're not going to, there's no perfect person out there. We all have our stuff. And, you know, yeah, you really have to weigh the pros and cons. And I don't know why we want to go with the negative first. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that's about. I
think it's safety, you know?
Yeah, it is. You're right.
It's safety. And it's like, I'm getting ready to teach a class on like, we like to feel like we're trying and we're like checking the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, totally.
Right. But it's that intention and thought. It's like, yeah, but you're just half-assing it. Right. So learn, like, here's a little takeaway from today's podcast. After a date, before you talk about the flags, tell somebody what you really appreciated about the person.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like reorganize your thinking. And then we came up with a strategy so that she can, because she made up some stories about him. Right. So we're like, there's stories. So it's your job, right, to actually find out the truth, which is what we need to do online, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a concern, like that's your job when you go on the date is to get clarity.
Exactly. Give everybody an opportunity because, it is very easy to misjudge someone online just based on a few photos and a few words. So, yeah, absolutely. And I think it is always good to give someone a second second opportunity to, unless there's something that's like, you know, a clear, like he gets drunk on the date or, you know what I mean? Like something happens. Or there's just like we all have things that are deal breakers, obviously, and they're important to us. So if it's nothing in that, like, you know, hopefully short list, right? Give them another opportunity, I think for sure.
Absolutely. Okay. So before we go,
yes,
what success story have you come across in your journey that inspired you the most? Like, how can you give hope to our ladies so they can hit the restart button and get ready and get excited about online dating?
You know, I've met with many success couples. There's a few stories that pop into my head. One was a woman that was on eHarmony, and, you know, she just wasn't the guy. They weren't compatible, the guys that were being sent to her. And she thought, God, I don't know. And she thought about when she filled her profile and said, you know, I was in a kind of crappy mood when I did that. So she called our customer care team. She said, you know what? I think I need to take the questionnaire again. She retook the questionnaire and met her husband a month later. So think about like what mindset you're in when you're filling out your profile. And then another guy was this really cute Asian guy was on our site, and he was on the site and it's just, you know, wasn't meeting anyone. So he took a break and he came back and he took a break and then a year later met his wife. So it's like, he's like, sometimes it's the wrong season or you're just like hitting a wall or just like come back later. And so it's just cool to see that it really like runs the gamut, right? People meet in a month, people meet in a year, people meet in 2 months. Like it's just, you have to just have patience with the process. You know, it's like nothing else, right? You're looking for a life partner or just a great person. So it's not like any other, I just think that we need to remember that. Like these are people that you're looking at. These are not like the new coat or the new bathing suit for summer, right? So
for summer, I love that.
It's worth the wait.
Summer. It is worth the wait. And the last thing I want to say, and I think this is really important, this is for sure my philosophy, that what I love about eHarmony is that, you know, it's a differentiation from like the swipes, right? The apps, right? And I think the theme of this podcast has been thought and intention. Mm-hmm. And I think that when you put the time and investment into really showcasing who you are and being authentic and then showing up on dates and doing everything that we really talked about, it is 100% a really good use of your time to take the extra time to use an actual dating site like eHarmony. Because I know that it's easy to swipe left and swipe right, but in some cases, you know, you get what you pay for, right? Like you get what you get into it, what you put into it. So I'm a really big fan of not taking the easier, faster way out.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, like everybody should know that, yes, I work here, but the people who work here truly care about matching two people together that should be together. And they want people to have the best relationship and most enduring relationship possible. It's really cool to be a part of that. And we've got research scientists that sit here all day and go, what two types of people would be great together? And then they all tweak our back-end algorithm to sort of, these two types of people tend to communicate more. We'll work on that. So it's just, it really is, it's not smoke and mirrors. It's not BS. It's like, it's real deal, So if you really want a great partner, it's definitely worth considering at least.
Yeah, and because half the time who you think in my experience as a dating expert, who you think your type is probably actually isn't your best long-term partner. So let an algorithm help you. At the very least. Jeannie, you're the bomb, diddybomb.com.
Likewise.
And I appreciate it so much that you came into the Dating Den, and I'd love to have you back and hear more about your great dates.
Oh my God, I know, right? I hope I have good updates for you soon.
Absolutely. All right, ladies, I love you lots. Thanks for coming. And hey, don't forget, date with dignity. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.